Alex Hanser here, and welcome to today's podcast for September 14th in the year 2017. First thing out of the gate, thank you, Jared, JS. Thank you, is it Leanne? Two people donated a few dollars over at PayPal. Also, a new subscriber, probably subscriber 25, at outsidethebox.vhx.tv. There'll be a new 1 hour video tomorrow. So I'm going to be putting out a lot of content here on YouTube. I'm also going to be putting out a 1 hour video every week. So if people want to show a little extra support, that's cool. Sign up for the on-demand channel, but I'm not going to be putting more content on the on-demand channel than on YouTube. Fortunately, there are some ads. Now, yes, this improves things. Maybe if I make videos all the time, right, I'll be able to make my land payments. I'm not even there yet. But with a few of you chipping in and an increase in doing videos, some of them are still demonetized. It is really weird. It's all about the titles. So I try to keep things really simple. But if you follow the prompts down below, there are ways you can support. Now, I really want to see a forum develop somewhere, something better than what I have at alexansary.tv that relates specifically to people having conversations about certain things. There's going to be a lot of things heating up, I think, in the next few years. I think there's been a big separation in consciousness between, not only the light and the dark, but that have intellectual stamina, those that have pattern recognition, and people that prefer the Waffle House. There's always going to be people that prefer Taco Bell and McDonald's, to real food. And we just have to acknowledge that. Some people are going to like tabbouleh. Some people are going to like quinoa. Some people are going to be repelled by it. Same thing with information. Same thing with information. I don't want the negative experiences that I've shared, or even in my own mind, to prevent me also from having positive experiences in the future. I'm re-recording the podcast that I did this morning, just to kind of get a little more precise and to the point. There's also some technical issues early in the morning as well, but I've definitely put out my focus to see things really turn around for myself within reason. Within reason, I'm certainly not asking to win the lottery, but I'm not opposed to someone that does win the lottery to just throw me $1 million. That would be just great, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with having another experience within this lifetime. Maybe some travel, international travel. I don't know. See, I'm not opposed to there being positive experiences, but I still see the writing on the wall. And here's something else that I'm going to talk about. Living off the grid is removed from some of the disaster areas. It's not removed from the risk of wildfires. It's not removed from the anger of or closed mindedness of a local society. So sometimes, in order to be what we feel is safe, right? Like what I've done with my life and the places that I've moved away from, we sacrifice. And so that loneliness, sometimes we have to ask ourselves, is it worth it? Is it worth it as we feel that security to live somewhere where it's boring, where the most exciting thing in town is a coffee shop visit or a trip to the library so I can upload a big fatty file in like 20 minutes instead of waiting for it to upload in 3 hours at home over satellite. That's about as exciting as it gets. They don't have any strip clubs here. I don't go to any strip clubs. I don't go to their bars that they do have here. I don't go out for a tourist $10 hamburger or $15 and there's really not a whole lot to say about the dating scene. I'm not really one to complain if I put my intention out there that I was going to go somewhere where it was boring like. In fact, my whole intention was go way far, even further off grid and more isolated than I am right now. So what am I doing complaining? What am I doing complaining? Do I have enough food? Yes. No, it's not filet mignon, but I'm able to survive. I'm able to survive, and I think this is a time in transition. Let's just take a look at just all the different changes going on in the world. We're not really going to cover a lot of news, but we all know how much change is going on. And then just a month ago or 2 months ago, I was working for somebody else's website for several years, and then boom, that job ended. $500 a month of economic security, boom, gone. but is now more time open in my personal life to have certain deeper discussions, reoccurring discussions on spiritual growth. It's really about working on our inner spiritual core as opposed to necessarily always focusing on defense, things of that nature. I'm also kind of able to um, monitor post results. I have a lot of windows open. I tend to do that. I tend to put a lot in my newscasts. I tend to around a lot. And by the way, this image is just kind of like a large building, perhaps a building that I'll be in and out of in maybe a few years, something like that. Maybe working with allies. Let's put out our intentions as we face our greatest fears. You know, let's talk about that. Um, yeah, that'd be real awesome, huh? For our world to go to war, like when we still have like stuff to pay off and whatnot. No, that would suck. That would be horrible. I'm like, I have the internet right now, and that's very critical for me to reach you. I don't have connections with other people and other companies. Look, I don't like some of the things that Google and YouTube does, but I've looked at things from both perspectives. I was just saying last winter, you know, if it wasn't for Google and YouTube, I wouldn't really have any income coming in. And even for the other person that hired me, I mean, that was just excess money from Google AdSense. Once that dries up and people lose their traffic, because not only him, but like all these other websites, thousands, they stopped getting organic traffic from Google search results. They've been burying us. They've been burying us. I'm kind of beyond the discussion about how people aren't working together in the independent media. I mean, that's just a reflection of our society. I'm certainly not someone that would want to see himself as boxed into a conspiracy movement, a truth movement. I want to be accepted for who I am, and that's what's important. What's not important when I think about physical friends, I even think about past girlfriends. It's definitely not important for everybody to think like me. It's important for me to feel accepted and respected by the people around me, not worshiped, not a cult. See, there's a difference. And a guy like me has been verbally beat up by a big chunk of this planet. And some people, right, they don't identify with that experience. They don't identify with that experience of being a disliked public person who also has fallout stuff with his family. So, it'd be different if I just had fallout stuff with my family, and I was feeling like a racial minority and I wanted to be a computer programmer. My life would be very, very different. I want to talk about this afternoon. Or if I chose to be the manager, head sales manager at Office Depot. Picture an Alex Yancey with like, a really deep interest in sales and percentage and management, making sure those shirts are clean. Picture like, just picture myself with a family in a beautiful suburban home. Yeah, working as a manager at Olive Garden, making sure everything is all just applying my intellect to the menu. We're not going to be talking about like stuff going on in the world, ladies and gentlemen. It is about like how do we make that connection to the customer to where they know their day's going to go better. And before they have that entree, they go with that appetizer. And for any of you that have had the luxury to work at the Olive Garden like I have, you know what it's like to stand up straight, stand up tall, and pretend that your manager is a friggin' customer. That's right. That's right. You can join the circus without leaving your hometown. Find your local Kroger. Find your local Applebee's. Find your local Olive Garden. You too can wear the flair and see how deep the service industrial rabbit hole goes. You can be all you can be at Olive Garden today. I could see myself as this, that, or the other. Just picture someone just happy with 40 hours a week, where that is what they do. That is what they do. And a man a real man, Trojan man. You know, where it's just like sex, baby, sex, baby, sex, sex, sex. I'm sorry if your kids are listening, but some men, they're like wired. Where I'm gonna get the job. I'm gonna have my hair just right. I'm gonna get a car like this, vroom vroom. They're like living through their, beep. I need a soundboard, folks. I put out. Somebody just want to buy me a soundboard. You just say the word. We'll do this. You can do it through Amazon. I think you can buy things on Amazon, send them to people. I don't know. Um, I've seen people like this in high school, and I was trying to find myself, and I was like, whoa, you know. And there's this one guy that I knew, and yeah, he was on a highway to hell. So of course, as I got more involved in off-grid living, independent media, my own thoughts and feelings, and definitely being my own man. That's why I mean a lot of men don't roll. A lot of men want underlings. I'm my own dude. And men that really have an agenda to be on top, sometimes they'll poke at the real independent male and call him the cult leader. That's right. Because another person isn't allowing them to mount. I've learned a lot this last year about human psychology through the internet that I've never seen in recent years. I think, again, it's just this whole everything is internet now. Yay. And I look at what this internet addiction has done to locals in my environment that are like on this thing all day long. It's like, wow, we're beyond the point of community. These people think they're being invaded by a Durka Durka. No, man, it's time to lay low. Hell, I'm looking for the bunker. I'm looking for my future Colorado survival friends with a bunker. But no, they haven't arrived yet. But let me know when they do. First, got to do a pat down, make sure there's no Nazi tattoos. Then maybe we'll go have coffee after we do some background checks and things of that nature. What a world. What a world. You know, it's a parallel reality. Let's talk about some movies. Again, this is an off grid podcast, meaning I'm going to go off the grid of just talking about the news. We talked a lot about a she foo foo and the non-local awareness, and I got more to add to that. But really, you want to become a subscriber at outsofthebox.vhx.tv, and we'll go deeper down the rabbit hole. But I mean, we want to keep this kid friendly, pet friendly. I saw a cat looking at me the other day, but being that I'm off grid, I don't know whether it was cat or a bobcat. But yeah, there are elements of wildlife that are running surveillance. I don't know if I've actually reported this yet. I don't know who those birds are working for. I don't know how many different clans, cults, or intelligence operations they have going on in the organic world. I've heard all kinds of theories. I'm being comical and serious and comical. Whether I'm telling a joke or I'm being serious, that's whether you want it to be serious or a joke. But yeah, there are birds running surveillance. So my friend in Texas sent me a care package. And in the care package, and I want to thank her, she sent me some chocolates. There's been times where I just haven't had a lot, and it's just like I just need some sugar. Coming off the cigarettes, had myself a nice little stomach ache from the sugar. Um, some socks. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's like, oh, it's winter. I have to, make sure I have some basic things on hand. Probably time for me to get some extra matches, lighters, probably propane. I heard propane costs have gone up this year locally. Hopefully not too much. The cool thing about living off the grid, and I'm opening up something now that I haven't already that I think is an extra handy cam, flip cam, to fill up about 4 of those propane containers that you often see people carry with their hand, those little barbecue style, about $38 for propane. So I do have heating costs. I don't have a risky fireplace. I live off the grid, but I live in a 10 by 12 with semi-isolation. A lot of people like to see images of my cabin. I already put them out there. To go further and showing just the dirty dust. Continuing on. What is this? Spider-Man, Disc 1. I don't know that I've seen Spider-Man Disc 1 yet. We have Blade Runner. I probably have. So yeah, these are some DVDs that are not super crappy that I'm going to have over the winter. And I'm sure people can sit there and apply their social peer pressure over YouTube to tell me which forms of entertainment you find to be superior or inferior. Other things I might occupy myself during the winter, more writing. I'm going to have less time to be on the computer. Also got another shirt here. So a lot of people don't realize, right? I don't have regular power. I live in a part of Colorado that's not as cold as Costilla County. Sure, I'm snowed in for months and months and months and months. But literally, I'm not waking up in the middle of the night like, you know, I mean, there's a little of that, but it's not like it's not like other places in Costilla County. You want to talk about some training, some runes, marbles, things like that. So that's pretty cool. You know, other connections. It's like a care package. It's like I'm doing time. I'm doing time in the off-grid penitentiary. I have quarantined myself from the archonic, infectious society. I've even tried to go out and reassimilate within society. Found myself working 25 hours for free. That's right. That's right. Found myself with the bad luck of the car not working and this whole situation. Found myself feeling the total solar eclipse before it happened and then looking it up online, just like when I got into solar flares and what is the Saturn return when you're 29 and when you're 58, when you almost go through that midlife crisis and second midlife crisis. And, you know, I look at other people at certain ages like 28 and 59 or 58 to 60, 29 to 30, 31, 32, major times of transformation in one's life. And it was actually during that period that I actually got into the solar flare research. A special thing is the supportive comment that came in. I mean, there's a lot of them that are supportive. And I'm not seeing all the comments that are there because of weird AI stuff. Like I said, maybe we'll get a better forum. But I appreciate people letting me know they enjoy the solar flare commentary. There's more I can share with you that I even put into my PDF for those that are into that kind of thing. That's right. So I'm thinking about doing some more of that. Of course, I have a couple books here that I referenced in the past video. Solar Rain, Solar Revolution, and another book, Son of God. And most of those books were written over 10 years ago. So this is not like some research or knowledge that just comes and goes and never comes back again. It's actually research that stays with us, that grows, that human society has been looking at, that perhaps previous civilizations, perhaps those of us have looked at the sun or have harnessed the power of the sun in other galaxies, in other universes, in other lifetimes on Earth. It's totally within the realm of possibility. That's what I mean by spiritual WikiLeaks. We may have information contained, or we may be able to access information through specific DNA strands that we may be choosing to activate. What I feel is happening to me with my perspectives is something natural. Sometimes when I hear people talk about DNA activation, I don't think that they're really looking at what it really means to have a real big shift in expansion in consciousness. But